All right, section 3. I only have a few minutes before I have to go to class, and so let's see if we can get through this quickly. Number 1, if 5x plus 6 equals 10, what's the value of 10x plus 3? 5x plus 6 is 10, that means 5x is 4, so 10x is 8, and then 10x plus 3 is 11. C. Which of the following ordered pairs satisfies the system of equations above? I'm just going to plug in, I think. So A fails because 3 plus minus 2 is not 0. I'm going to try B in the second equation because it looks like... Oh, it's B or C. Those are the ones that are going to work in the first equation. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking like I should have just done the elimination way because it's probably faster. But considering that I'm lazy, let's go. So 2, -2 might work. So 6 plus, it's B. Onwards. 3. A landscaping company estimates the price of a job in dollars using the expression 60 plus 12 NH, where N is the number of landscapers who will be working and H is the total number of hours the job will take using N landscapers. So when you have a constant attached to variables, then the way that you would read that is 12 per N per H. So it would be like 12 per landscaper per hour. So we need an answer that says like 12 per landscaper per hour. So A looks pretty nice. I think it's A. 4. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression above? This has the standard plug-in format, but I don't think we need to do it. There's no way it's going to be like B or D because that's going to give you some crazy 3A to the 4th power term, which is like huge. It's going to be like A or C. This is just the nice formula A plus B squared is going to turn to A squared plus 2AB plus B squared, which is what A is doing. And then so the answer is A. Next page. Don't get stuck, computer. 5. If k is greater than 0 and x is 7 in the equation, what's the value of k? So plug in x is 7, move it to the right side, square both sides. 2k squared plus 17 is equal to 49. 2k squared plus 17 is equal to 49. 2k squared is 32. 2k squared is 16. K is 4. See? Oh, 6. In the xy plane above, line L is parallel to line K. What's the value of P? Oh, okay, so these slopes have to be equal. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 of both of these should be equal to one another. So 2 minus 0 over 0 minus 5. So 2/5 should be equal to 0 minus 4. So 4 over p. 2/5 is equal to 4 over... 2/5 equal to 4 over p. So 2p is equal to 20. So p is 10. 7. X a squared over b to the... Oh, difference of squares formula. This thing makes a comeback. Like that left-hand side can be rewritten as x to the power of a squared minus b squared, which is difference of squares. So x to the a squared minus b squared is equal to x to the 16th. We'll simplify to a squared minus b squared equals 16, which will further simplify to x plus b times x minus b is equal to 16. And given that they told us that x plus b is 2, x minus b would have to be 8. That's why they would multiply to 16. Look at the clues that they gave us in this question, by the way. For like, there's a squared, b squared in it. There's a plus b and a minus b sprinkled in the direction. It's like screaming difference of squares. 8. The measure A in degrees of an exterior angle of a regular polygon is related to the number of sides n of the polygon by the formula above. If the measure of an exterior angle of a regular polygon is greater than 50, what's the greatest number of sides it can have? So if if A is 50, then what's n? So it's gonna be like 7 point something, right? Because like 50 times 7 is 350, and the extra 10 has to be accounted for. So C. Can't have 8 because like 7 point something isn't the same as 8, so then you would have to round down in this case. 9. The graph of a line in the xy plane has a slope of 2 and contains the point 1, 8. Okay, the graph of a second line passes through the points 1, 2, and 2, 1. If the two lines intersect, we have to get the equation for both of these lines and then set them equal because intersect means set them equal. So we find the equation of the first line. So far we know the slope is 2, so that would be y equals 2x plus b. In order to solve for b, you can plug in the points 1, 8 for values for x and y. So 8 is equal to 2 plus b. B is, did I do that right? 2, 8? No. 2, yeah, 8 is equal to 2 plus b, I think so. Okay, so then b is 6. So then we have the first line is, this is going to be a doozy to do in my head. So 2x plus 6, y is 2x plus 6. Okay, next one, the graph of a second line passes through those points. The two lines intersect. What's the value of that? So we have to find the slope first. So y2, y1 over x2, x1. 1 minus negative 1. So it's going to be y equals negative x plus b, and then once again you can plug in one of the points to figure out what the y-intercept would be. So then if it's 1, I'm going to use the point 1, 2. That's going to turn into 2 is equal to negative 1 plus b. So b is 3. So I have two lines. First one's equation is 2x plus 6, and that's equal to negative x plus 3. I don't know why I'm making this crazy hard mode, but I think it's going to be negative 2x plus 3 and negative x. So 3x is equal to negative 3x is minus 1. So if x is minus 1, then I can plug that back into any equation. I think I'm going to use the second line, the y equals negative x plus 3. So then y is 4. So then it should be negative 1 and 4. So then the answer of those added together is B. Whoa, okay. 10. Which of the following equations has a graph in the xy plane for which y is always greater or equal to negative 1? Okay, so like the y coordinate never goes below negative 1. A, B, and D would all go, like, it would all shift the graph down, like, down 2 units from the origin, and then so it'd be C. See, the negative x minus 2 in the parentheses means that it's moving to the right, the other way. It doesn't, like, I know it says minus, but if it's in the parentheses with x, it moves to the right in the opposite direction. If it said x plus 2 in parentheses, it would move to the left. So, see, it's not going up, it's not going down, so it's not going to cross negative 1. Which of the following complex numbers is equivalent to, oh my goodness. I need to get some scratch paper at some point, but let's see if we can reason this guy out via estimation. So if we want to get the I out of the denominators, given that none of these answer choices have I in the denominators, the way that you do that is always the same. You have to multiply the top and bottom of that weird fraction that they gave us with the conjugate of the bottom. So the conjugate is going to be like the same numbers, but the opposite sign in the middle. So it's going to be, I'm sure there are mathematicians who are just cringing at that explanation, but it would be like x minus 2i that you'd want to multiply in the top and bottom. The reason why you want to multiply the top and bottom of the fraction with the same thing is because then you're essentially multiplying it by 1 and you're not transforming it, meaning that it's like a valid conversion thing that you're doing. So, okay, so then if we do x minus 2i to both the top and the bottom, multiply to both the top and the bottom, then the bottom is going to become 64 plus 4 because I is negative 1. Yeah, so it'd be 64 minus negative 4, so 64 plus 4. So we have a 68 in the bottom. It doesn't help too much because all of these are like all A, B, C, D's denominators are factors of 64. So the top is going to turn into, oh my goodness, 24 minus, what is this? Oh my God, it's too hard. 24 minus 6i minus 40i. It's going to have like 46, negative 46i. So 26 minus 40i minus 10. So 13 plus 46i, I think. 13 plus, is it 13 minus 40? I think it's C, but I'm sure future me will be able to write it down much more nicely. So good job, future me. 12, a website uses the formula above to calculate a seller's ratings R based on the number of favorable reviews F and unfavorable reviews M. Which of the following expresses the number of favorable reviews in terms of the other variables? So we want to isolate F. If we want to isolate F, then let's get it out of the denominator first. Fraction equals fraction means cross multiply. So then we'll get Rn plus Rf is equal to F. Let's group the F's together by moving like them to the same side. So then F minus Rf is going to, like Rn is equal to F minus Rf. We can now factor out the F. So F times 1 minus R. F times 1 minus R is equal to Rn. So Rn over 1 minus R. B, hopefully. Fingers crossed. 13. What's the sum of all values of M that satisfy? Okay, sum of all values, easy. It's negative B over A, so it's 8, D. A radioactive substance decays at an annual rate of 13%. If the initial amount of substances is 325 grams, which of the following functions F models the remaining amount of substance in grams T years later? Awesome. So T years later plug-in means that we want to set T equal to 0 and then see which equation gives us the starting amount, right? So 0 years later, we were supposed to have 325 grams according to this story. So then if I plug in T is 0, the equation should say that I have 325 grams. If I plug it into C and D, then you would get like 325 to the 0th power, which is 1. And then so the answer choice C would turn into just 0.87. Answer choice D would turn into 0.13. So those two are out. So the answer is like A or B. Then I can see that like this is the percent change formula where the percent increase decrease formula where if you're going to increase or decrease by a percentage, the formula for it would be like x times 1 plus or minus the percentage to the t. So you'd have to account for that 1 plus or minus the percentage. So since we're decreasing, it would be 1 minus, and then 13% would be 0.13. So 1 minus 0.13 would be 0.87, so A. The expression is equivalent to which of the following? Nice, this is standard plug-in, so I think we can just plug in x is like 2 or something. So if x is 2, then we're going to have 10 minus 2, which is 8 over 5. So let's see which answer gives us 8 over 5. A is wrong. B is 15, that's 13 over 3. No. C is 23 over, no. D is 8 over, okay, it's D. Nice. The sales manager of a company awarded a total of $3,000 in bonuses to the most productive salespeople. The bonuses were awarded in amounts of $250 or $750. If at least one $250 bonus and at least one $750 bonus were awarded, should be plural? I think that's right, actually. What is one possible number of 250 bonuses awarded? Okay, I got stuck on the grammar there, but if there's one 250, one 750 at least, then that leaves $2,000 left because those two would account for 1,000 of them. And I think if we assume, say, that all of the remaining ones were 250, then that would be an additional 8. So, is this a trap? So the answer, I think, is 9 because I'm supposed to count the 1 that I had from earlier plus the 8 that I just used. I think it's 9. Sneaky, College Board. 17 is disgusting equals disgusting, so we're going to simplify the left-hand side and compare coefficients. In the equation above, a, b, c are constants. If the equation is true for all values of x, what's the value of b? Okay, more mental gymnastics. So 6x squared plus 10x plus 9x. So 6x squared plus 19x plus 15. 6x squared plus 19x plus 15 is 19, I think is the answer. Hopefully. 18. In the figure above, AE is parallel to CD. AE parallel CD, and the segment AD intersects segment segment AD, oh my god, CE, they intersected B. Okay, great. What's the length of segment CE? It's 12, because like you can sell from AD that the proportion of small triangle to big triangle is 1 to 2. It's like 5 to 10, so 1 to 2. So then same thing, like the CB to BE should also be 1 to 2, so 4 to 8. Added together, 12. In the xy plane above, O is the center of a circle, and the measure of angle OAB is pi over a radians. What's the value of A? Nice shape question that uses root 3 in it. This clues me into the fact that I think I'm supposed to use a 30, 60, 90 triangle here, almost definitely. Like, I'm willing to bet that AOB is 30 degrees. And you can prove that, I think, if you use the 30, 60, 90 principle here. Like, if I marked the length of each side of this triangle, it would have a x coordinate of root 3 and then a y coordinate of 1. That would mean that this is following the proportions of a 30, 60, 90 triangle, which would be like x to x root 3. So that is 30 degrees. I need to convert 30 degrees into radians. So if you want to go degrees into radians, you have to multiply by pi over 180. So 30 degrees times pi over 180 is pi over 6. They're asking for what pi over something, so I answer 6. In the system of equations above, A and B are constants. If the system has infinitely many solutions, what's the value of A over B? If there are infinitely many solutions, that means that these two lines are exactly the same. So that means that like the ratio of y to x, or of A to of x to y, like 2x over 8y, would be the same ratio as ax over by. So the answer would be 2 to 8, or 1/4. Nice. Section 4, well, I can't do it now because I got to go, but coming up later. See ya.